and welcome to another edition of Tasty Tuesday. Today we are going to show you how to make Portobello mushroom pizzas. And we're also going to show you an alternate, because a lot of people don't like mushrooms, the texture, the taste, whatever it is. So we'll give you a different, this is lavish, so it's a flatbread. You can kind of make it with any sort of flatbread. Just make sure that you look at the calories. These are healthier versions versus the really thick pizza crust, but you want to be a little semi-conscious about that. So I'm going to show you how to prepare your mushroom. So mushrooms, just in case you don't know, you are not going to wash them under streaming water. What you'll do is you'll take a paper towel and kind of wipe it off. Sorry, the oven is ready now. So I guess that's the first thing you should do is you should preheat your oven to 375. I feel like Vanna right there. So for the mushroom caps, in order to prepare it, there's two ways that you can do this. You can, I'm going to use a knife, and I'm going to put it down so I don't cut myself. So I'm just going to kind of get it up there, and then I'm going to kind of peel back. So as you can see, part of the lungs, as they call them, the ribs, came out. You can keep them in or you can take them out. I'm going to take them out because it gives more room for more great pizza stuff. So we're going to come over to the sink and I'm going to take out this. So it's really, really, really easy. So these are Portobello mushroom caps. You can get them at almost every grocery store. I happen to get these at Whole Foods because you can buy them in bulk, so you can buy as many as you want or as few as you want. But I know here in Texas, H-E-B has them in almost every single H-E-B that I've been to. So basically all you do, it kind of gets a little messy, or it sprays everywhere, but you just kind of scrape them out. It's easy. They come out pretty easy. You want to make sure that you're kind of careful with the top edges because you do kind of want that rim to make sure that you can keep all your pizza stuff inside. But yeah, I'm not really picky about whether I keep it in or out. Like I said, it just gives you more room for the goodies. So that's good for me. You also be very careful because you will or can scrape off too much like I just did. But we'll come back over. So I've already sprayed a pan. I use coconut oil. That's just my oil of preference. So the one thing about mushrooms is that they will release like the water from the mushroom when you bake them or cook them, just kind of like if you saute them. So what you want to do is you don't want to pile a lot of sauce, because when you pile a lot of sauce, that creates a lot more liquid. So I would say less than a tablespoon, like a teaspoon to a tablespoon of it. So you can just kind of see the amount that I'm going to put on there. Not that much. If you're a huge sauce person, I mean, may the odds be ever in your favor, and you can add as much as you want. So just enough to kind of cover the bottom to give it the taste that you want. So I am not a meat lover, but Megan has some turkey pepperoni that we will be putting on the lavish bread so she can have that. So it will work out, but so you can use turkey pepperoni. The greatest thing about it is it has less fat, and it has the same great flavors. So obviously, if you want pizza, if you're craving pizza and you're trying to stick to a healthier lifestyle, these are great alternatives. Just make sure for the small changes. Another really good thing to look for is when you get your pizza sauce, you can also use marinara sauce or any sort of sauce that you use for pasta. Make sure that you look on the back. Look at the ingredients. The important thing about it is sometimes this is not too bad, but sometimes they have unnecessary sugars. So you can actually get ones with no added sugar. So it's kind of really something just to be conscious about all the things that you're putting together to make it a little bit better. For the cheese, I got a mixture of the pizza blend, but you can get just, low moisture, part skim mozzarella, and that's better than having all the full fat in it and stuff like that. So yeah, so once you've put the sauce in there, you can do one or two ways. I like to put all my toppings in and then cover it with cheese, but you can also put cheese and then cover with toppings. It doesn't matter. Tomato, tomato. So I don't want any meat on mine, so I'm going to do some bell peppers. So just sprinkle like that. There's really no art to it. I feel like I should be making like the chef weird noises that they all make when they're doing things. They hum or things. So some onions, some diced pretty small onions, just because this is a small surface area. So you don't want them to take up too much room. And then I'm going to get some olives. It's okay to get dirty. And then my cheese. Usually I like a pizza with mushrooms, bell peppers, onions, and olives. Sometimes I put spinach on it or fresh tomatoes. But like I said, with a portobello cap, because it is a small surface area, you might want to do 2 to 3 toppings instead of trying to overload it. But, I mean, if that's what you're feeling, go big or go home. I like a little pepper, so I'm going to do some fresh cracked pepper on it. I also have some roasted garlic. I kind of like that. You can also go use garlic powder, garlic salt. If you use garlic salt, don't add any extra salt. Our food, the cheese has enough salt in it for everybody, and so is your pizza sauce and stuff like that. So I'm going to add just a tiny bit of that on it just to give it a little bit of flavor instead of actually having to put some fresh garlic in it. You can do Italian seasoning. This is just the brand that I have. I obviously use it a lot. Italian seasoning will give it a nice, a kick. Depends what your pizza sauce is. If your pizza sauce already has all that ingredients in it, then there's no need to add it. But you can also add things like oregano. The greatest thing is about the spices, little to none calories, but give a lot of flavor. So that's the thing that I try to cook with the most, is try to add less of the fluff and more of the spices to give the better taste, but not the extra calories. And then I do like a little Parmesan cheese. So this is some shredded Parmesan cheese. You can do a grated Parmesan cheese as well. Really depends on what you're looking for, what you're wanting. Just like that. And then you will cook it on 375 to 15 to 18 minutes. Once again, depends on your oven, so make sure that you check on it probably after 12 or so minutes to see how it's cooking, if you want it more brown, the cheese more brown. You can also broil it a little bit more, or you can, it doesn't take too long for the mushroom to cook fully. But once again, you're not going to hurt anything if you don't cook it completely full. Alright, so then we are going to show how to make a lavish. So this happens to be lavish. What I really like about this, you can get it, I got this at Whole Foods. It's kosher, vegan, no added sugar. So those are the good things about it. It is not gluten-free. So if you're looking for a gluten-free alternative, Ezekiel bread, Megan tried that the other day, is very good. Her one is add extra sauce because it really soaks it up. So you want to make sure if that's kind of like what you like, make sure to add a little extra sauce. So I'm going to make her pizza, but I'll probably get a little instruction from her so she can have the perfect afternoon pizza. Are you a sauce person?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is kind of like just a normal pizza that you would do once you get the dough. We've already sprayed it already. I obviously am not a sauce person because I don't know how to adequately put
keep
sauce.
adding.
She's like, just jump the jar.
Yeah, all over that.
And I'm like a perfectionist, so I'm like every nook and cranny up to, the very end needs to have sauce.
This is the girl that makes sure that all of her waffle holes have butter in it.
Oh,
so
yeah. That's like a happy cheat meal for me. Forget the syrup. I want some butter. Like Paula Deen. Alright, what do you want next, Megan?
Let's do pepperoni.
Pepperonis.
And just layer it.
Layer it, like, throw it on there. Give it, like, toss it up in the air. So if you're using turkey pepperoni, just remember that it's not going to be the exact same flavor, but
still pretty tasty. It's
tasty, and once you kind of get used to it, you really don't miss regular pepperoni. The thing that I don't like about regular pepperoni is the grease. So this kind of cuts down on that as well. Did you want like 20,000 more, or is this an adequate amount for you?
So then do like a row.
Like
right there. Right there. So this is like meat lovers. Another thing that I do if you prefer to have protein on your pizza is you can always cook up, ground beef. You can cook up ground turkey and add that to it. Anything like that.
Once again, if you're like watching your calories or anything like that, make sure that you do your leaner ground beef. Do it. Okay.
Then cheese.
Cheese. I'm obsessed with cheese. I think that's the only reason why I like pizza. So it's really hard for me not to add to pizza. I also do have a homemade recipe for actual pizza dough. So if you're wanting like a special treat and actually eating normal pizza, it is not gluten-free, but you can make it whole wheat. You can kind of make it whatever you want. I can also post that as well. These aren't, there's no recipe to post like Pinterest. We can just kind of type in any kind of key information like how long you cook it for and stuff like that. So I'm just like giving you all these in the world.
Fun. I'm hungry.
It's gonna last you for a while.
That's good.
So Tasty Tuesday doubles as Megan's lunch.
Yeah, sometimes.
Since she is on the go most of the day. Would you like some salt and pepper, a little
Parmesan is good.
Parmesan?
Garlic.
Oh, what's that? So we have a little garlic. And then this, you're not worried about cooking the bread itself. So you just want to cook it in there for maybe, I don't know, 8 to 10 minutes max. Kind of check on it frequently because you're really just wanting to melt the cheese to your satisfaction. So I don't like brown, hard cheese. I would prefer it to be a nice, smooth, silky, just melted kind of situation. So I'm going to get my trusty oven mitt. Ooh.
And there it is.
And here is our completed Portobello Mushroom pizza. Before I forget to not put yours on a timer. So the greatest thing about this guy is that it does give you a little protein. Portobello mushrooms. It kind of acts like a little texture, kind of in that hardiness, and it's filling, but it's not overfilling. And this is like if you want to do meatless Mondays or you want to do just a vegetarian dish. Especially if you're cooking for families and you want to do family friendly where kids will be able to eat it and they happen to like mushrooms, this is a good alternative just to make small changes in your lifestyle to make it just a little bit healthier.
So what about putting like tofu? Could you put tofu on it?
I imagine you could like cook tofu like you did like beef or like turkey
with
kind
the same
of stuff,
flavors.
Same flavoring, and you could add it on there. I've never done tofu. But that's a great question, and I can look it up and see if there's any sort of recipes that include tofu.
There you go, guys.
Yep. And that's super simple. I would, I don't personally have experience meal prepping this and then putting it in the fridge and eating it later. I feel for something like this, because it does release a lot of the juice that's in the portobello mushroom.
As you can see.
It might get a little soggy after a few days. So this would be something that would be a great like quick dinner to do. I mean, as you can tell, it took
20 minutes maybe.
20 minutes max, especially if you're making, and you can make simultaneously. The other thing that's great about this is everybody can have their individual portion size. I forgot to also say that the reason why I also picked lavish is because if you look on the back, one of the sheets, so it's a whole sheet, and you saw that it was a pretty large pizza, is only 140 calories. So that's a pretty
and it's
good
I mean it's
pizza.
pretty large, so
yeah,
you can
huge.
it's really satisfying that
Yeah,
way.
you could, I mean, technically cut it in half if you really didn't want to eat that much, and it would be less calories. So it's just being a little conscious about everyday choices that you make to make them a little bit healthier.
Well, thanks guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.